Welcome to SmartKits Australia, and this is a video highlighting how we install a flyover roof. And it doesn't really matter whether it's an insulated roof or a non-insulated roof, but these are some of the things to consider when putting together a structure like this. This structure that we are looking at today has hardwood posts. These posts are 140 by 140 laminated Merbau or Quila posts. They're available from Bunnings. You can buy them over the shelf there, and they've been added separate to the roof kit that we've supplied in this instance. The plate for the base of these posts is also available when you order them from Bunnings, and you'll see that our builder here has cut a slot in the post using a saber saw and a chisel, and he's just cleaning that up now, ready for that bracket to sit inside of it. Very important that you get a good tight fit with this type of bracket. We get a lot of customers who buy the roof kits from us and then add their own timber posts. So this isn't an uncommon thing at all. It's actually very, very common. And the reason for that is because colour-bond steel and timber posts go together very, very well. In this instance here, the customer has a low-set brick veneer home with a tiled roof and also solar panels on the roof. It's very important that when considering a flyover roof, you take things into consideration, such as where the brackets have to go in the roof, the solar panel location, the height of the new roof, and making sure that what you install here isn't going to interfere with the water drainage system of the house or the performance of the solar panels. Our flyover roof brackets are engineered to a cyclonic rating. This roof here is 8 meters by 8 meters, and it has 3 roof penetration brackets. Our kit comes complete with the bracket, the mounting base plates that go inside the roof cavity, the rubber sealed deck tight that goes over the tile, and all of the glue, fixtures and hardware you require to install those brackets. Our installation instructions also include step-by-step detail of how those fixings go inside your roof cavity to ensure that you've done it correctly. This house has no eave on some sections. You'll notice that where the gutter line is, and it has a step in the wall in some sections. This one's a little bit different to how most houses are set up, with just a straight wall and a standard 500 or 600 mil overhang eave off the side of the roof. So taking some of these things into consideration when you are speaking to your design consultant, it's very important that you send through some photos so that we can be sure to give you the correct materials and also the correct installation instructions for your house. In this instance, Steve has put the first roof penetration bracket in, and he's running a string line off of that forward to the projection point where the posts will be, and he'll be using that string line a little bit later on to determine the height of the posts and to make sure that we've got the fall correct on the roof. This roof is an insulated panel roof, and it requires around 35 millimeters or 2 to 2.5 degrees of fall on the roof to ensure that water can get away correctly. And you can see here where the bracket will be fitted to the corner of the concrete slab. So we've got a roof penetration bracket up, and working our way back to that bracket location where the post will go. It's very important to take the time to double check measurements, heights, lengths. The old adage of measure twice and cut once is definitely the rule. Our roof penetration bracket, they're called jumbo brackets, comes with 2 different base plate options to fit the bracket into the roof. These come standard with every kit. The bracket is fixed into the side of the house roof rafter, as well as the top plate, which is the framing, the house wall framing behind the brickwork. And once you kick back a couple of tiles or lift up some of your own metal roof sheeting, you'll be able to determine this location and then install your bracket accordingly. This roof has 3 brackets. You can see 3 holes in the tiled roof for those brackets. We will install 1 bracket at one end and 1 bracket at the other end, and then run a string line between those 2 brackets, so to ensure that the bracket in the middle or any brackets in the middle will be nice and straight. These brackets are designed to be trimmed to height. For instance, in this case, you'll notice that there's still 1 more screw to go into the base of that post, and the reason for that is because this bracket still needs to be trimmed to the right height. What you're looking at here is the inside of your house. Plaster ceiling, wall framing, and wiring from the existing electricals. In this case, we have made sure that the bracket is not going to interfere with the performance of the roof, the solar panels. These roof sheets are insulated roof panels. These are double-sided colour-bond steel. These ones are 8 metres in length. They are 100 millimetres thick. They are manufactured by a company called Bondor. This product is called SolarSpan. We provide these with our SmartKits because they use genuine colour-bond steel, and we can provide a genuine colour-bond warranty with the sheeting. With insulated roofing and general overall flyover roofs in general, the strength in the roof really comes from the roof sheeting once it's installed. So it's very important that you get your posts and beams braced into a good solid position before installing the first roof sheet. So you'll notice in these pictures that we have a number of clamps and just props just holding everything square and straight while that first roof sheet goes on. And then that first roof sheet, once screwed into place, is your starting point for keeping things square, level and correct. Combining timber posts is obviously a pretty common feature with these type of roofs now, and most timber posts can be sought from your local hardware store. We also have a 90 by 90 steel post that comes with a vinyl wrapping that looks like timber that's available as well. You can never have enough props or clamps holding everything square and straight. And in this case, you'll see that we've just put a stake in the ground, screwed a piece of channel to it and held it in place there. With our kits, we do supply a 7.5 metre length of stud channel, which is what this piece of steel is here, with the kit to be used as a bracing prop or to use as what we call a noggin. And a noggin is what you would use if you needed to put some bracing or to put something in your roof cavity to give it some strength to fit your brackets to. You'll see Steve here is just putting the final 4 screws into the beam, into the roof penetration bracket to hold it in place. The first sheet is now up on the roof. And obviously being very careful and nimble and light-footed so as not to crack any of those roof tiles. And it's a good idea to get these last 4 screws into that beam before the roof sheets go on, because it's very difficult to get access under there once the sheet is up. And like most things, when we build, we tend to just put the minimal amount of fixings in as required at the time, just to get things into place, just in case you have to shuffle or move or slightly lift something. What you're doing, obviously, as you're going, is trying to keep things square.
I'll go help him flip another sheet. Yep. You double check that. Screw that in. We'll move these planks up actually.
Nice big long span on this roof sheet. It's an 8 metre roof sheet. And if you consider that this 8 metre roof sheet is being supported by 3 roof penetration brackets at the house end, the tiled roof end, and 2 posts and 1 beam at the projection end. It's a pretty large roof to be supported by 5 contact points to the ground. You'll notice on the right hand side of the screen we've also got a prop in place. We put up a prop just
so
to
when the
hold
sheet gets guillotined by the machine, it folds the edge over on the female side, so you just need to snip it about 5mm back to the start of the female channel.
Young Bailey now trimming the corner of the bottom leading edge of the insulated panel sheet. So this is the edge that will go into the join of the sheet that's in place. And if we just clip that little corner off,
obviously on the female side.
it makes it a lot easier to get this next sheet in. Really good trick that one.
We'll do a bit clean up here, make sure I've got a magnet in the car here. You can just walk around and sway it, pick pieces up. And you know about folding your ends.
Once the sheet's been prepared,
yeah, that end,
be
it's
ready
only
to
got to
go
be
back
about 10mm from the end of the sheet. It's just ever so slight to help the drip. And at this end, you'll want to get them to 90 degrees, as close to 90 degrees as you can, but don't tear the sheet. So do it nice and gentle.
Have you got the damming tool for that, Tim, or do
part
you use the
of
clamps?
preparing the sheet to go up into place is to
would you mind?
damming the sheet. In this instance, we're using a pair of multi-groups, a flat bladed pair of multi-groups, and we're just taking the flat pan of the sheet and we are bending it down. Now, obviously, there's information about how to do this in our installation guide, but you'll see all we're doing is bending the flat part, the pan of the sheet down.
Because this is the
do
high
this
end of our
because
sheet.
This end of the sheet
Stop
is
water
going
from coming back
at
under the
highest
flashing.
point of the roof. This will stop water from capillarying back under the flashing at the end of the roof sheet. So we've clipped the corner that goes into the lap of the other sheet, and we've dammed the sheet. It's called damming the sheet, and we do that to all 4 pans on the insulated panel. Also, you'll see with our insulated sheets, there's always a cutback edge, and that cutback is where the gutter goes. So it's your low point of the roof sheet, and there's quite often just a little bit of foam stuck in there, and you also need to clip off that the lapping edge on that sheet as well. Just scrape that foam out of the way. This gives you a nice good fitting of the flashing that goes into that cut edge. So that's called a cut back, and it's a 60mm cut back on those sheets. They come pre-cut like this, ready for the gutter end to be fitted onto the sheet. You can see that clipped corner. The foam has been cleared out.
Not very good at that.
And like the other end where we dam the sheet to stop water from coming back up the sheet, we bended this one downwards so that the sheet is bending into the gutter using that same flat pair of multi-groups.
Roll him up on its edge. And I'll balance it there. You probably get in through past that first stool if you want. We'll have to reconfigure this for next time. This is just murder trying to do this. Yeah. You alright?
Cool.
Yep. Don't get it, baby.
You got that?
Yep. Fine. Thank you.
Jeez.
There we go. Oh, same as last time, mate. On side. Let's see if I go up. Yep. Lined up. Nice and easy. Back towards the. Now let it drag on the ground. Don't put it in there. Put it down. Put it down, bro.
Because this sheet or this roof is falling back towards the house, the high side for our roof is the projection end.
Okay, we need a step ladder or something here.
The end that the boys are at right now, just getting this sheet up into place, and it falls back towards the tiled roof section of the house.
Fuck yeah.
And they're just going to lift this sheet up onto the beam at both ends, and then just placing it upside down,
Moved up a level so we had to.
so then they can
I'm not
flip
sure I
it
want to put that on
over
Facebook Live.
and lap it into the sheet that they've already got in
Not
place.
this one anyway.
This is sheet number 2.
Oh man, that's
This
impressive.
roof is 8 metres in total length.
Step ladder in the back of my ute. We'll get that and we'll put that here just so you can get that one step up off the ground and get that.
There's one here, Tim.
Oh, there's one there.
Yeah.
One sec, we'll go flip the sheet with him.
And they're getting ready to flip that sheet now.
You even offered me on the roof, girls. What was that? Get that size, you can't walk right. Try and never ever put them down ceiling side. This, once that's scratched, you can't touch it up. And it's over $100 a square metre to scratch it. For that sheet, $1,000 every other week.
$1,000.
What's that? That's what, fortnight's pay for you probably. Close to it. Probably month.
And if it gets scratched, and mate, most customers they'll burr up about it.
Yeah.
They'll go,
And
no,
it's
won't
not something
accept
we
it.
can just say, can you get another sheet out today?
And then I've got to dump it somewhere. I've got to throw the sheet away. Where do you dump it? Where do you dump it?
My dad won't take it. They kick me out with it.
You can't.
Okay, sheet being flipped over into position, and you'll see they just got it up on its side. And the corner, the corners that were clipped off are slipping into the existing roof sheet. That's the lapping sheet. That's just being wedged up into position now. The boys will push this sheet as close as they can together. Get it right up there, and you can just see they're trying to get that in nice and tight.
I'm in and I'm pretty well lined up there.
Pushing it. Generally these go in pretty good. You don't have to work too hard to get them in there.
Felt all right.
And,
Nice.
once that sheet is up as close as possible,
It's going to go a bit
Give
more.
it a walk, Steve. I'll jump.
we just walk up the sheet, and that helps press the lap into
There you go.
position.
Popped it. Well, we're in all the way. We're just going to tighten it up.
See Steve up there. It's just you can stand on those sheets. There's no problem with that. They're not going to move.
Yours went real well then. Ah, that's you. All good. Easy, man.
Perfect scene.
Look
at that. You blokes made that look easy.
I've got 28, 29 here.
One of the key things to remember when installing our insulated panel roof sheets is that all of our sheets are screwed in the pan of the sheet. So the 1 meter wide insulated panels have 4 pans. You put 1 screw in the pan of each of those pans on that sheet. And then where the lapping rib is, you put 1 screw through the lap. And you'll see Tim here putting a screw through the pan of the sheet to hold that sheet into place. Very important that you only screw the pan, each pan of the sheet, the lapping rib only. The screws that we provide in the kit are the exact length to do that. You'll notice that we use blankets over the beams to help shuffle and slide the sheets along. It prevents scratching. When your roof penetration brackets are installed in a tiled roof, they should look like this, nice and tight, glued around the outside edge, and a good weather seal into the tile. Our installation guides provide you with some clearer detail on the installation of that bracket and also the cutting of the tiles for the bracket. And here we are looking at a 99% finished roof. Obviously our bracing and props are still in place. We are finishing off the flashings and the edge trims on this roof now. The last thing that we will do is remove the bracing and the props. Hold everything nice and tight until the roof is completely done, and then remove those braces and remove those props. You'll notice that we have 1 prop right through the front of the structure. That's just to hold the beam square while the roof sheets are installed. And what a magnificent looking roof this one is. That has come up an absolute treat. Boys have done a really good job here. Nice, clean, smooth, long lines with that insulated panel finish. And the supplied and install option that we have supplied here using 100% Australian made product worked out to be about 50% of the quote that this customer received from another supply and install company.
Do until about 8 o'clock.
Unpack steel. Roof finishing off now. Steve is just cleaning up. All of the flashings are installed and we are ready to remove the props and braces. Our kits come complete with all the screws, bolts, hardware, glue. Everything you need to build this kit comes with the kit. "100% Australian made, 20-year warranty, supporting Aussie jobs. Save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars on your outdoor lifestyle." Thanks for tuning in, guys.